Hello and welcome to this MCP Creators webinar. We're super excited to welcome you to this webinar, and we have five guests with us to take you through some of the things that we're working here at Apify and with our partners. So I would like to introduce you to the participants in this webinar. First, we have Dushan.
Hello.
Dushan?
Yes, hello.
So here is our product manager for AI. We have Jacob, who is our
Hi.
senior engineer for AI. And we have two of our partners online today. So Abdu from Flow AI. And Flow AI was the creator of the first MCP server here at Apify. So we're excited to hear about their experiences and talk about Flow AI. And we have Tham from Mindpal, who has integrated Apify MCP servers, and she will also show you how MCP is being currently used at Mindpal. So I am going to share my screen, and we are going to start. 1 second. Right. Okay. All right. So let's start. So a quick agenda about what we're going to be covering today. So we'll talk a little bit about MCP. Of course, Dushan will go deeper into it and give you some of the technical specs that you need to know and talk about some of the things that we're working on, monetizations, the other things that in general creators would know about this. I'll talk about why, Apify MCP Marketplace, exactly why Apify, I think, is the perfect place to actually host an MCP. Dushan will go through the technical details, as I mentioned. Then we'll have Jacob. He will present a live demo to use our TypeScript template. He'll show you how quickly and easily you can actually roll out any MCP. Of course, this can be MCPs with pre-existing APIs that you have, actors chained together, or in the case of Abdu, of course, bringing out an existing agent and turning it into an MCP and hosting it. And then, of course, most importantly, monetizing it. So we're excited to see how that will be. Abdu will give you that demo. And then that will be a good segue for Tham from Mindpal. She will show you some of the cool things that creators and builders are doing in MCP inside Mindpal. So I'm also excited to, for that. And then we'll have conclusions and QA. We've got a few promo codes to share with you guys. And then please, post your questions in the QA section, and we'll answer as much as we can in the end. And obviously, if there's something that we don't answer, we can look at it later. So this is, I think the first webinar, I hope, of many. The space is exploding, so a lot of it is early days, but hopefully we can work together and create some of these servers, monetize them, and most importantly help users use them. So what is MCP? The basic framework is you have this clients. It could be a cursor, it could be cloud desktop. VS Code has a bunch of them. It talks to the server, which has tools, resources, and prompts. And unlike traditional APIs, tool calling in MCP is super easy to set up. And Dushan will talk a little bit more about that, and especially from an infrastructure and options point of view. So that's a quick kind of intro on the MCP. Why MCP? So why do we think that this is an area that will literally explode? It has already. So if you look at it from just the Apify side, MCP became our third biggest integration in just 2 months, right? And we see the protocol overall from an industry point of view is on really track to overtake OpenAI in GitHub activity. by July 2025. And projections are there's 10,000 official servers by the Q3 of this year. So if you see this exciting growth trajectory, I think everyone can agree that this is a place where developers are congregating to. And why we think Apify is the perfect place for MCP servers? Just because an update, we have 90,000 users that sign up monthly. We have over 24,000 active developers, and we're excited to, welcome them today to this webinar. There is, of course, a direct pipeline to highly technical users that we have. We've, have the kind of the technical audience precision and the cross ecosystem visibility. So, we work with hundreds of partners across the globe, partners like Mindpal and some of the other integration partners that I'll talk about. And of course, the commission-based revenue model. So just to iterate, anybody today can publish an MCP and everybody can use our pay-per-event pricing to monetize that. And as I said, one of the key things that we offer is this large partner network integrations. So you can see us on N8N, Mindpal, Make, Crew AI, and literally hundreds of other places. So when you do publish actors and you do publish MCP servers at Apify, those are directly integrated with our partners. And I'm excited to hear some of the things that Mindpal is doing from that. Okay, so that's the why. And now let's talk about the how. So Dushan will take us through that. And he'll talk about the key concepts and some of the news that we have.
Okay, thank you, Samek, and hello everyone. Thank you for joining. I would like to explain a few topics and a little bit deep dive about technical stuff. And the first thing is protocols. As everyone, we started with local STDIO, which is still supported, but right now we also have a remote server for Apify MCP through Streamable HTTP, which is a recommended approach how you could connect to our MCP server, which is on mcp.apify.com. There's also a third option for server-side events, SSE, which is already labeled as legacy because it will be deprecated in the future. Right now, it's still supported because of some clients still not supporting Streamable HTTP. But in the future, we recommending to use Streamable HTTP. Second thing is OAuth implementation. Right now, you've got two choices. To connect to our MCP server, you could use API token or you could use OAuth 2.0. Of course, OAuth is recommended because it's much easier to connect and it's better from security reasons. Basically, you just connect and you will be redirected to our Apify console where you just allow this integration and you are good to go. You don't need to handle tokens. Third thing is dynamic tool addition, which is a feature of our MCP server. Right now, if you started with our MCP server, you've got only one actor allowed by default, which is RugWeb browser. It's basically Google search to text. And if you want to add another actors as a tools to our MCP server, you could, by default, there's this parameter enable adding actors set up to true. That means that you could just ask the question of our MCP server, for example, give me the latest Instagram post of Apify account, and then three steps will happen. First, it will search for the actor for Instagram. Then it will edit as a tool to our MCP server, and third, it's used and it's used with your query. If you don't want to enable this adding actors, you could set the parameter to false in URL, and the dynamic tool addition will be disabled. Alternatively, you could select specific actors as a tools upfront, and you could do it in a URL. You could see the code snippet there, where there's just this simple parameter actors, and the name of the actors separated by comma. So you could see that I've got here Google Maps and Instagram scraper set up for my MCP server. Also, there will be some changes in tooling. Right now, we've got over 18 tools like Run Actor, Search Actor, get details from dataset, and so on. We discovered that it's maybe too much, and from time to time, the MCP server could be confused. For that reason, we will be deprecated some tools, but in the future, we will also be adding new tools for Apify documentation, which will be part of our MCP. So expect some minor changes in that. Another thing which is more important for you as developers is monetization. If you could monetize your own MCP server on Apify, and it's done by pay-per-event. You need to set up your actor as PPE, and it's very simple. You could just put Actor.charge function into your code, which allows you high flexibility what you could do. You could charge per run, you could charge per to-call, or any custom events. For example, we've got MCP server for slides presentation creation, where we charge for a number of slides. So it's highly flexible, but best practice for you, keep it simple. If you put multiple pricing events, it could really discourage the users, because it will be very confusing for them to calculate the cost upfront. Another thing, if you want to create Apify MCP server by your own MCP server on Apify, it needs to be standby actor, which allows you to have persistent service. It's not like one-off task, and it has persistent URL. The key benefit is autoscaling, but please be aware that every initial start is starting the same as any other actor. But when it started, you could use it as persistent service. Also, we introducing new category into store for MCP servers. Right now, it's still with a manual review process. So in any case, you will be developing your own MCP server. Please let us know, and we will be very happy to add you to our list. And also, there's it's coming, the new MCP badge. Because not every actor on our store could be used as a tool for MCP, because there are 3 conditions needs to be met. And the first one is that each actor has to be pay-per-event, so pricing should be set up to PPE. And also you need to proper description of the actor itself and of its input-output schema. The main reason is because if you have a really bad description, the MCP server couldn't possibly know which tool to use. So these are 3 conditions. After these conditions are met, you will get this MCP ready badge, and that means that it could be used in any MCP server on Apify. So that's from my side. Here's our roadmap for upcoming weeks. We've got a whole team working on MCP, so we want to introduce new MCP primitives like prompts, resources, sampling, elicitations. Also, we are planning to create new UI for easier MCP server creation, which means that you could set up, you could pick which actors you want to use in your MCP, which prompts, which resources you want to upload, and then it will generate you a link for your MCP server right away. Also, there are plans for output schema, asynchronous operations, and many, many more features coming. So we are waiting for your feedback, and thank you. That's it from my side.
All right. So sounds great. A lot of new exciting things are coming. So now let's kind of really dig into the woods and see how we can create an MCP server using our templates. So Jacob will take us through this. So Jacob, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Samech. So I'll show you and share my screen how to use our predefined template to create an Apify actor from any stdio already available MCP server. So if you visit apify.com/templates, there is a library of templates that you can use to download the boilerplate code and turn it into Apify actor. We've prepared two MCP server templates, one for Python, which is currently outdated, and one for TypeScript, which is up to date and supports the latest features. So this template has all the code needed to turn the Actor into an MCP server. So you can run an MCP server on Apify. Right now, the template is structured as it has an input and the MCP command, which is the name of the executable of the MCP server. So for this example template, we are using the model context protocol server everything, which is a reference server that has implemented every feature and primitives of the MCP server. So I'll show you how to deploy that on Apify. So if you visit apify.com and go to console, you can sign in through your Google account or create a new one. And navigate to development and my actors. Here is a button to develop new actor, which allows you to use and load the templates. So let's click that and select view all templates. Here we can select TypeScript to use a TypeScript one. And here we can see the TypeScript MCP server. So we'll select this one. You can use the template locally. So it basically clones the predefined boilerplate code, the Git repo, and installs all the Node.js packages and libraries necessary to run that. I won't do this right now. I need to run that on platform directly because there will be no changes needed. I'll be just showing you how to use the template and what needs to be changed. So let me click use the template, which clones the template and creates an actor for you on your Apify account. So as you can see, it moved to a new window where there is my new actor, and it's clone of the template for the MCP server in TypeScript. Let's rename that. So let me name that demo TS MCP server, for example. Doesn't matter right now, we won't publish that. First, let me build the actor because it takes a few minutes to build, and we'll go through the source code. So there are two main changes that you need to do if you want to implement a pre-existing MCP server that is deployed on NPM available as a node package. Here is the MCP command that you need to change. So for example, it supports only MCP servers, STDIO ones, which is the server everything. But you could also actorize and turn into Apify Actor a remote one using pre-existing MCP remote STDIO server, which wraps the remote server as a local STDIO one. So you just change the command, pass the arguments and parameters needed, and that's it. And then do not forget to install the required package in package.json. Right now there are only two included, and then it's the server everything and the MCP remote. If you are installing a new one, you should remove those and put there the new one that you actually want to actorize. And the second change, which is important for your use case, I guess, is the billing, because the real power comes through monetization. That's why probably you should deploy MCP server to Apify. You can easily monetize it. There is a predefined function for monetization that currently charges you for each MCP request. So there are defined events for these events. So for example, each list request, so when I list tools, the user gets charges. Same goes for tools, resources, prompts, completions, and other requests. This is defined in paper event JSON file, which is included, and you need to set that in your actor settings. So I won't change anything about this actor right now. Let's keep the reference server everything. So what you need to do if you are creating an actor is to turn on the standby mode. As you can see in this template, it's already set. What I recommend, depending on the server, if it keeps state, please increase this max request per run, because then it can spawn multiple servers. And if the server keeps state, it can lose the state since it spawns a new instance of the actor, new container So it doesn't have access. It doesn't have access to the previous state. So let's keep 1,000, for example, there, and save that. Next, what you would do if you actually wanted to publish this actor is set the description, icon, everything. That's done in the publication tab. And the most important thing is the monetization. I won't set this up right now in this demo, but you would have to add your billing details, click Setup Monetization, select Paper Event, and fill in all the events from the Paper Event JSON here. Once you do that, and you publish the actor to the store, the users can already use the actor and will be charged. So the actor is monetized. So this actor is already built, deployed. So let's see how it works. So I've connected and prepared my MCP inspector client. So I'll be use that to show you that you can actually connect to the MCP server. So we go to the standby tab, copy the actor URL, select Streamable HTTP type. I want to copy the token. Let's copy the URL, add /MCP. Be sure to select Streamable HTTP transport. Also, when you are using the standby actor, it's important you set your token, your Apify token. You can get that from settings, API integrations, and either create a new one or copy the existing one. I already have pre-filled the token. Once you do that, you can click connect, and this should spawn a new run. So the standby actor works like that. When you send an HTTP request, it actually spawns the actor, and it spawns internally a web server that answers the request. So right now we can see that we've successfully connected, and here is a new run. We can see a bunch of logs in here. So let's, for example, list prompt. We can get the simple prompt, and it successfully returns the result. Let's try tools. Let's call echo tool. Let's input some input, and we can see that we get the output. Same goes for other tools. It returns images and so on. The important aspect of this is the monetization, as I mentioned. And in the logs, we can see that there are the MCP requests coming, and we are charging the user. Right now, this actor doesn't actually charge me because it wasn't published, and I didn't set the paper event pricing. But if I would, then the user that was calling the MCP server would be charged. And I guess that's it. Quite easy, and you can deploy your own MCP server.
All right. That's perfect. Thank you for that, Jacob. So Jacob gave us an excellent presentation on how you can deploy an MCP server. And now we will go to Abdu from Flow AI, who has deployed the server, and he will take us through his experiences and, of course, tell us more about Flow AI. Okay. Abdu. One second.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. We can hear you now.
Okay, I'm assuming I'm audible. So,
yes.
Hello once again. So my name is Abdu. Today I want to share to you about Flow AI agent on Apify platform. So I want to share to you about the MCP powered AI agent integration between our agent Flow AI with the Apify platform and you as the end users. So let's dive in. So first of all, brief about me. So my name is Abdu Kodigos. I'm an engineer in Flow AI. I've been building application for Flow AI and also exploring a lot of things about artificial intelligence and also very recently MCP, which is very exciting. So let's dive in. So what is Flow AI? So Flow AI is basically an AI agent marketplace and platform for Web3. So we are an AI platform, but we are also focusing on Web3, which is very unique, right? So what does it look like? So if you open Flow AI, it looks like this. So if you log into flowai.xyz, you can have like a UI similar to ChatGPT, but we are more focused on Web3. So you get a couple of hints there, like the apps on the left side. There is also a couple other stuff. So you can ask the agent questions like, show me top NFT in ape chain, or show me NFT in, I don't know, maybe Ethereum or Polygon. You can try. And then you can also ask them about prices. So you can ask price of Ethereum for the last 3 days. And then you can see there is like some price changes in the screen, right? And you can also ask them to make a chart. You can say, hey, can you make a chart for this? It will make you a chart, a very nice chart. So I really like that. And now what I would like to do is just to turn the Flow AI agent to an MCP, right? So what is Flow AI agent on Apify? So essentially it is an MCP server that you can use in your MCP host, which is in this case, it can be cloud, it can be Cursor, it can be anything. And then the good thing is you can publish it to the real world. And then because it is a marketplace, people can go to Apify, try, your MCP server, and in this case, Flow AI, and then use it. That's why we are really excited to publish Flow AI agent on Apify. So I will dive into some little detail. So basically, it is just a proxy server that connects to like our agent. So it's essentially an agent-to-agent communication in a sense that your host, the agent of your host, it can be cloud, desktop, it can be Cursor, is an agent that talks with our agent Flow AI. And the interesting part is in Flow AI, it is not only one agent, it is like many personalities. It has, like, for example, AppCoin agent, it has Ethereum agent, it has Uniswap agent, and many other agents are on the way. So I'm very excited. So the next thing is you can select the agent that you like. You can also get on-chain and off-chain data. You can do a Web3 smart contract analysis and reporting, and also custom dashboard creation, which is coming soon. So I really like it. So now the good thing is like everything in Flow AI is pay-per-event pricing, which is following the model that is Apify facilitating. So we also adapt that, and yeah, you can just use it like in very cost efficient manner. So let's see. So a brief about the architecture. So essentially, what happened is the external client, in this case, the the cloud desktop is connecting to our server through the Apify, and then inside there is like a lot of things going on, like MCP router, which does a lot of all those plumbing. And then after that, what you get is you have the actual Flow AI server, which we already have built in the past. Previously, prior to Apify, we have already agents and agents marketplace. And then there you can get like all agents. You can get tools list. You can also call tool that you like. So that's a very simplified architecture. And essentially, publishing MCP agent in Apify is very seamless. You can go with that template and do a couple of modification, decide which kind of charge event that you like, and that's all. It looks like there is an issue with the screen sharing. I will screen share one more time. Yeah.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, there is a little bit of issue, but the next step would be I would like to give you a demo about how to use Flow AI agent inside the, what is the name? Directly inside the Apify. So let's see. So one thing you can do is you can navigate to your browser and you can go to Apify right here. So if I go to apify.com, and then you can search for Flow AI. And then you can click search. And then in the Apify store, you can find Flow AI agent. You can open Flow AI agent. And the next thing is you can open Flow AI agent and then you can run it in your own account. So it is already public. It is not only on my account, but also in your account. So I click the Flow AI agent. I don't know what happened, but the machine is becoming very slow during the live stream. So here, the Flow AI agent, you can actually try for free. You can click try for free, and it will go to your console, the Apify console. And inside the Apify console, what you can do is you can see a couple of things here. There is standby, and there is also runs. Usually what I usually do is I will make sure I am using the standby. And if to test, you can also click start if you want. And then after that, you can go to the standby. And then the thing is you need to use this endpoint. We are currently migrating from token-based into OAuth authentication, but in the meantime, we can use the token-based URLs. I usually like to warm up the server by just opening the test endpoint, and then if it's returned something, now we are ready. So the next thing is I want to open my cloud desktop. I have my cloud desktop open here. So to understand, cloud desktop is one of the MCP hosts that we can use. There can also be Cursor, there is Cloud AI, there is also some other custom implementation, and there is also even your library, like a programmable system that you can use to connect with the MCP server. So now what you can do is you can go to Cloud, go to Settings, and in the setting itself, what you can see is there is something called Developer. This is part where you can connect with MCP servers. And in my case, I have Flow Apify and also ChatGPT MCP. This is the two that I'm currently using. And then in here, visually, you can see all the tokens and arguments. I will also remove the token, by the way. But the idea is you can go here and you can also edit config. So I have the config open. You can click the button or you can also open yourself manually. And now you have it here. And then essentially the idea is you have the settings for cloud, and then you can put the setting here. So what happened is you can copy the link from the Apify. So from the standby, you can copy the token. And then once you copy, you put it here, right here in the, in the arguments. You can also put the Apify token. So soon we'll migrating to OAuth, but for now, let's just use this one. So once you do that, you can go back to cloud, and then usually I need to restart and reload my application. But in this case, I already loaded, so I don't need to restart. And in here, you can see there is two tools that we can use. One is ChatGPT MCP, and second is Flow Apify. So once you have that, you can open a new chat. Now you can talk with your MCP. In our case, it is Apify. Sorry, not Apify. In our case, it's Flow AI. So let's start. So we can say, hi, can you ask Flow AI how to, what tools that I have? So when you ask this question, the cloud desktop, the agent, can think what kind of tools that they can use. And then in this case, they decide, okay, I have Flow Apify. And then I can allow once. So in this case, I want to allow every time, so it will be more secure because I don't want the AI do anything without my consent. So it will do some processing, some number crunching. What is it? Bear with me here because somehow my computer has become slow during this presentation. But usually what you will have the results coming in very quickly. And then after that, the cloud can decide what they can do with it, right? So let's maybe stop it and then let's try again. Let's try again. Okay, let me try again. Usually it is very fast. I don't know why it's slow today. Is it because I changed the token and everything? Maybe. Okay, if it's not working, we can restart the cloud itself. Usually that's what I do if there is any issue with MCP. But in ideal case, it should be working smoothly. So this is just an exceptional case where there is some issue with my computer, but usually this works perfectly. So I'll stop now and I will rerun the Flow AI. So if I open here, I close my cloud and I open one more time. So when you open cloud or any MCP host, there is some window of time where it tries to load all the MCP tools that is available. And then once it is available, it's showing up here. Like for example, now it is empty, right? There is no MCP. But in a few seconds later, there is ChatGPT. And in a few seconds later, if it works correctly, it will show the Flow AI. So let me see. Apparently there is an issue. So let me see the developer. Yeah, no. It's running fine. Looks like it's running fine. Let me check one more time. Okay, why it is not happening? Okay, please bear with me here. Oh, apparently there is an error somehow. So there is a log folder if there is an error. I think it's a good moment to see what is the error. But I won't go there. What I will do here, I'll just close. And then I will open again my editor. Make sure one more time that the, the config is correct. Okay, now I will open again this part. Yep, I save. The token is the same, right? I will invalidate, of course, after the presentation. Okay. Okay, finger cross. Let's see if it's worked now. Okay, I see ChatGPT MCP. Why mine is not working? I don't know. Let me see one more time. Yeah, apparently the what is it? I'm not very lucky today. So the Flow AI MCP is very shy. So what I will do is I'm just will wait for a couple of minutes before I maybe go to the rest of the slides.
Yeah. Thank you, Abdu. Maybe
Okay.
while you're trying to solve that, I can see MCP is always, it's a new technology, but I think we've seen.
Let's see if it's still connected. I don't know. Maybe there is like some kind of delay.
Yeah.
But apparently there is no Flow AI at the moment in the tools itself. Oh, now there is a Flow AI Apify, so it takes some time too. So maybe I will stop this question and try again. Yeah, finally.
Nice.
Finally, I'm lucky. I allow the call. Yeah, we got the results. There's a lot of tools that we've already provided. There is NFT, there is account collection, there is verification of NFT, there is web scraping. There is a lot of tools that we are opening up to our users. And instead of going to specific tools, now you can just use to connect with our MCP server and ask any questions, right? So now what you can do is you can ask a follow-up question. Maybe you can ask a very simple one. Can you check what is the price of Ethereum? So I'll now asking the price of Ethereum. It will check, and then it recognize there is a tools available, now providing all the symbols and everything. Now there is like this number 2577. I can go here and I can ask CoinGecko Ethereum price, and then
I think
if you go there,
yeah, I think you stopped the share.
you will
the screen
see
sharing.
the price of the
Abdu.
Ethereum
Yeah.
inside the CoinGecko, which is pretty much the same with the price that is in the cloud that is coming from the Flow AI. So apparently there is another screen share issue, but if it's enabled soon, you see here there is 2577 and 2577. So it is a real-time data coming in. You can also ask any question about NFT. You can ask what is top NFT in app chain. This is just an arbitrary chain that I'm trying to look up. I can press enter, and then after that it will try to call like the respective tools. Oh, there is Magic Eden, and I can allow one more time, and then after this it will try to do some processing, and boom, there is a couple of like NFT collection that is available and top one for you. So that's pretty much about the Flow AI. So now let's go back to the presentation. So that's the quick demo. Thank you for your patience. And now, if you want to try yourself, you can just go to the Apify store, find Flow AI, and then try just like I did. And some lesson learned when I integrate, when not I, but also the team integrate with the MCP. So first of all, the MCP landscape is keep changing. It's keep changing every day. So it is good to to keep updated with the latest changes. Like for example, attending this event is a really good idea to keep updated with the landscape. And like for example, one issue that we had is about the authentication support, where there is two layers, right? Where the host connect with Apify, Apify connect with our server. So make sure each endpoint, each hop is secure. So it will be better for you and your customer. And the second thing is when we are doing this, there wasn't the auth support that we were hoping. It turns out we are following somehow the older version, not the newer version. Now the newer version of our library is already supporting OAuth, which is really good. So yeah, I think that's OAuth is the biggest one. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward to publish to Flow AI. the collaboration between our team and also Apify team is also really good. That's why I really like to. And yeah, that's all. That's all my feedback and lesson learned. And if you would like to try, unfortunately, we cannot give credits in Apify, but you can try Flow AI here in our website. Go to Flow AI XYZ and put the invite code try Flow AI, or you can just scan QR code here, and you can get the credits for free in our Flow AI application. So that's all. Thank you for your attention, and let's build the future with Flow AI. Bye.
Thank you, Abdu. Thank you, Abdu. That was great. Thank you for sharing some of the lessons that you went through building your MCP server and putting it in Apify, and we're excited to see how it will perform. So I think Flow AI showed us a great use case for using it on desktop application or clients like Claude or Cursor. But of course, MCP is not just for desktop. So, Tham from Mindpal, she actually was one of the first
use case for using it on desktop application or clients like
so she
Claude
was one
or Cursor.
she was sorry, I think I'm just hearing a bit of a sound. 1 second here. Yeah. So, so as I was saying, Tham from Mindpal, they have a great multi-agent crew platform. So this is really where you can scale MCP past B2C. So we're talking about B2B and enterprise B2B, creating like multi-agents and especially simplifying it. So Tham, I'm super excited to hear about what you guys are working on, especially because there's so much of your initiatives are on LinkedIn, and I would love to hear more about what you have in Mindpal and how you're using MCP servers. Yes, Tham, can you hear me?
Hey guys. I'm Tham Sylvia from mypal.io. So thank you so much for your awesome presentations, everyone. I think by at this point, you guys have probably have learned how to build your own MCP server and start monetizing them on Apify. Now, here comes the big question. How can you actually get your MCP servers into the hands of the customers and get them pay for you? So I'm the founder of Mindpal, which is a platform that allows people to build AI agents and multi-agent workflows with no code to automate their business processes. And we are probably one of the first official MCP clients. And I have seen a lot of customers using MCP in production grade use cases. And I have learned many things. I have learned what makes or breaks the success of an MCP server when it comes to distribution. So let me share with you what I learned. Now, what makes me really excited about MCP servers is that with MCP, you cannot just sell to technical teams like you did when you sell API in the past, but now you can sell to almost anyone because the barrier to adopting MCP is much lower compared to API. In the past, API buyers need to understand what API is and how to integrate that into their systems. But now, as you can see with MCP, especially remote MCP servers, just like the Apify team have just shown you, or Abdu has just shown you, all you need, all people need, is just plugging in a simple URL, and they can instantly unlock thousands of powerful tools packaged inside your MCP server. So that's why when I launched the MCP feature on Mindpal, that quickly became one of our most used features, like much more used compared to our custom API tools setup or even our own native integrations. So how can you sell to these people, like non-technical people or technical people alike. One of the things I have learned is that non-technical business owners and professionals, they don't really care about the technology. So they don't really care if it is MCP or not MCP. So when you sell, when you share your solution to them, you should not lead with the technology. Rather, you should show what's possible with your MCP. So essentially, you should package your MCP power into practical, tangible use cases that these people can actually see. And they would go like, wow, I didn't know this is possible with AI and MCP. Let me check that. This is something I need for my business. And then once they see that your solution is built on top of MCP, which is a very simple to integrate solution, that would be like the cherry on top, because they don't have to learn about the API, like headers, body, all confusing stuff. They would just bring your URL, plug into any AI they're using, and start using your MCP servers right away. So I think you can show your MCP server in action using any AI apps right now. It could be ChatGPT, it could be Claude. But for me, my favorite tool, of course, I'm biased, is Mindpal. And because of two main reasons. On Mindpal, you can build not just conversational AI specialist agents. So for simple tasks that require chatting back and forth like this, but you can also create multi-agent workflows for end-to-end multi-step processes. So this is actually a killer feature on Mindpal, where imagine you have multiple AI agents, each specialized for a specific job, each powered by different powers, like one using this MCP, another using a different AI model, for example, and they all come together to solve a very complex task. So this is like showing the maximum power of your MCP. And finally, on Mindpal, sharing is a native feature. So you can turn every single AI agent and multi-agent workflow you have built on Mindpal into public things that you can share with other people with a public link, or put them on your website so people can try them themselves without having a Mindpal account. So let me show you a real example how I sell Apify MCP to my customers. So I'm actually a huge advocate of MCP in general and Apify MCP in particular, because I have been following them for a long time. And immediately when they released their MCP feature, I started introduce MCP like Apify MCP to my customers, and they all really love it. And the way I did is that I just go on my Apify store here. There are a lot of actors that I love here, but one of the things I use a lot is LinkedIn People Profile Scraper. So this is something that business owners and professionals do a lot, because there are a lot of tasks in a business that involve researching about a person. So there are a lot of good actors on Apify, but for now, let's take this LinkedIn People Profile Scraper as an example. Now, when I go into my Mindpal account, so this is my Mindpal dashboard. Let's try building some useful AI agents with that LinkedIn People Profile Scraper. So one thing I have built and shared with my customers is this LinkedIn profile analyzer for job applicants. So people who are looking for jobs, one thing they want to optimize is their LinkedIn profile, right? So in order to do this, I have built an AI agent that is specializing in analyzing LinkedIn profiles to provide insights and recommendations for improvements. So this is just some system instructions I give to this agent to define its identity and its job. And then one important thing is that inside the integrations tab of this agent on Mindpal, inside the MCPs tab right here, I connected it to my Apify MCP, so this one, which brings LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram scrapers. So these are the three scrapers that I use a lot. So I just put them here. But if you take a look at it here, I just use this is the Apify MCP URL here, and I define the actors that I want to bring in for this specific case. I want to bring in this LinkedIn people profile scraper. So this is the name I get from the Apify store. Also the YouTube scraper and the Instagram scraper. And then I put it my Apify token. I will invalidate this shortly, of course. And then when I validate this MCP server, and as you can see, my AI instantly discovered that there are 20 tools in this MCP server. Besides from the utility tools added by default by Apify, we found the three most important tools here. LinkedIn people profile scraper, YouTube scraper, and Instagram scraper, which are exactly what I want to bring to my Mindpal agent. So as you can see, the process to bring Apify into my Mindpal agent is very simple. It's just a simple URL like this. So anybody can do this. So that's why Apify MCP is getting adopted really widely inside the Mindpal community. Now, once I have this LinkedIn profile analyzer up and running, I can start chatting with it. So you can actually start chatting with it here, or you can publish it as a chatbot and share with anybody, your customers, your clients, to show them what your MCP server is capable of. But in this case, let me try chatting it from the Mindpal dashboard here. Let's see, I can use my own LinkedIn profile as an example. Just click go. And now let's see. Okay, so this agent is calling the LinkedIn people profile scraper from Apify, as you can see here. And this is the raw result. Here's the raw result. It got the about me and all of these things here. And then this is the comprehensive LinkedIn profile analysis for my profile based on what it found from the Apify actor. So the overall impression, the headline, this is my headline, that's true, summary analysis, experience section and analysis, and many more. So this is very, very comprehensive. And this kind of capability is not something that we can find from generic AI tools, but by combining the raw intelligence of these AI models plus your MCP's power, you can unlock use cases such as tangible and powerful as this. But this is just the starting point. Actually, when in business real work, people do not work in silos or in a one single step like this. They would typically have processes that cover many steps. So that's what, for example, this same LinkedIn scraper step that we have shown here, I actually don't see people use it in silo a lot. I actually found them often put the people research step is actually part of a bigger process that they often do. For example, a lot of the clients, the customers on Mindpal, they are running webinars or podcasts or interviews with people. And one thing they have to do a lot is they spend a lot of time researching about every single guest invited to their event to prepare the questionnaire, the scripts, and all those things before the episode. So what they did, what they did is that instead of building just a single AI agent here, they actually connect this AI agent with other AI agents to help them prepare for a podcast episode end to end. So this workflow, podcast guest researcher workflow is a multi-agent workflow on Mindpal that help them to do this. So this is actually a real workflow one of my customers is using and is generous enough to share with me. But essentially, what this does is that this is actually three AI agents coming together, as you can see here. So this AI workflow starts with collecting the initial information about the guest, like the guest name and profile URLs. And this could be their social media or their own websites and many more. So all sorts of links here. Now, Mindpal AI agent, by default, they can scrape websites, but they can only scrape standard websites well. For niche websites or data-heavy sites like social media platforms, we often struggle because these platforms have a lot of blocking mechanisms. Now, but Apify MCP here comes as a huge lifesaver in this case, because instead of relying on the generic web scraper of Mindpal, we can actually bring in the Apify web scrapers in this integration section. Apify, as you can see here, I have connected my Apify MCP with all of these links, all of these scrapers. And this AI agent powered by Apify would be responsible for the guest background research in the first step. And the results of the guest background research will be passed on to the next agent, which is a podcast questionnaire generator agent to generate the podcast outline and questionnaire. And then I have another AI agent to generate the script for the podcast, personalized and customized for that guest and that podcast. So now that's it. Now, once this AI workflow, and one thing to note is the whole AI workflow here is 100% customizable. So you have full freedom over how you want to design this AI workflow, how it should take place, etc. Now, once you have set up this AI workflow, you can also start sharing it with other people or running it as a demo. So for example, I can try this one out just to show you how Apify MCP in action with a multi-agent workflow. So let's say the guest I'm interviewing is Lenny Rajitsky. He's very famous. If you know him, I really recommend his podcast. It's really good. And the guest profile URLs, I'm gonna paste in his YouTube and LinkedIn here. And the podcast episode theme could be something like how podcasters can leverage AI for their work. And now let's hit continue. Okay, the first step, guest background research, is started. And as you can see, it's scraping these websites using, actually here, it is using the scrape a website generic tool on Mindpal. But I can try again and tell it to try using Apify, Apify tools. Try using the specialized scrapers from Apify. Let me regenerate this. Okay, so now as you can see, it is launching the LinkedIn People Profile Scraper and YouTube Scraper from both from Apify MCP to do its job. So this is the result from the YouTube Scraper. As you can see here, some information about the channel of Lenny. And the LinkedIn profile scraper often takes a little bit more time to finish. So let's wait for a little bit. Okay, now it's done. So this is the results of the LinkedIn step. And now this is the refined summary of Lenny and some potential discussion points, etc. About this guest. And now based on this information, the next two steps will take the information to help me generate the podcast outline and questionnaire here, based on the guest profile, as well as the podcast introduction script for Lenny, the author of Lenny's newsletter on Substack, the host of Lenny's podcast. That's correct. So yeah, and as you can see, by putting in a few in a few with a few examples, I have turned the raw MCP, the raw actor on Apify, linking people profile scraper, into use cases that are tangible, that people can see, can try, and can experience on their own. So that makes the Apify MCP more valuable actually, because now they don't see MCP as just a buzzword. They actually see it as something that is very useful and helpful in actual business use cases. So I'm just showing you two examples that uses the Apify Actor MCP, but I'm sure that from now there would be way more community developed MCPs on Apify MCP marketplace, just like Flow AI. So you can also bring the community maintained MCPs on Apify to Mindpal as well via the integrations MCP tab that I have shown you before. So yeah, and I think and if you have tried building some MCPs on the Apify store, you can try package them into tangible use cases, and maybe you can use Mindpal. And if you use Mindpal to build AI agents and multi-agent workflows powered by your MCP server, I'm happy to feature you on Mindpal community. Just connect me or just post on our community. And when I see that it's an MCP server developed on Apify, I'm happy to feature you. So more of our customers will explore your tool and possibly subscribe to it. Yeah, and one final thing is that if you want to try out Mindpal, I do have a little gift. You can use code Apify at checkout for 25% off your first billing cycle. So that's it. I hope you have learned something useful today. And I'm gonna give the stage back to Sameh.
Thank you, Tham Sylvia. That was amazing, and thank you for the deep explanation. And we're super excited to see how some of the MCP servers on Apify will integrate into Mindpal. We have a lot of questions, so I would like to go through some of them. I'm just gonna check here with my producer in the studio if all is good. He's been coordinating with 5 people across the world. So it's been, kudos to Philip. He's done an amazing job right now. So let's go. First question is, how can Apify account be eligible for monetizing MCP servers? So anybody's eligible actually to monetize an MCP server. So the process itself is very similar to how you would monetize an Apify actor. Jacob showed you some of the ways that you can implement PPE pricing. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us on Discord or create an issue, and we can answer it right away. Obviously, also if you leave a comment, or if you have you have our emails, just send us an email. All right. The second question from Widhi Henrik is, there will be boilerplate codes available to test it. I think maybe Jacob, you showed a TypeScript template, but we do also have the Python template. I think people can probably use both of those. Is there anything else in terms of maybe other things that we're working on from a templates standpoint, or are we gonna basically improve those?
Yeah, currently we are supporting those two, and we'll be improving them and updating them.
Okay, perfect. And guys, please, if you have feedback on the templates, how we can improve them. As I said, this is kind of early days, so we'll, this year, 2025, we're going to put a lot of resources into MCP. So we're just getting started. There is going to be a lot of programs that will be rolled out in Q3 and Q4. You already see us working, very aggressively with our integrations partner. And also, giving you the tools that you need. So let's go to the third question. Okay, 23. He had just a shout out. Hey, hey from Brazil. Hey from Dubai. All right. Okay, so Stephanus asked how to know all the data in Apify is valid. So I assume this is probably a question regarding specific scrapers. I think it's definitely dependent on what type of scraper or actor that you use. Okay, I hope that answered that. That was from Stephanus. Next question was from Pablo Cesare. Can we get a copy of this PowerPoint? Yes, of course. We will upload this video to YouTube, and for the PowerPoint, we will upload a link to the PowerPoint on the comment section. So please just go ahead and click on that. All right. So we have a few questions from Bakesh. So first question he asked, does Apify plan to create a dedicated section in the Apify store or console specifically for MCP servers? Yes, that's correct, Bakesh. We do have a section now, so you can actually go to the Apify store and you will see a section for MCP servers. So, we believe that this is the beginning. So it's kind of like the gold rush right now, right? We have over 6,000 actors, but there's only 5 servers. And, this is a perfect opportunity to actually get on board and start publishing servers because, obviously, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, we think. So, we encourage you to, use the templates that we have. If you need any help, there's a lot of help. The Flow AI guys managed to do this exceptionally fast. So I think, the MCP protocol, there's a lot of, a lot of resources out there. And if you need any help, of course, just reach out to us. How do I deploy, again from Bakesh, how do I deploy an MCP server in Apify? What are the associated costs or charge for hosting and usage? So it's the same as any actor that you deploy on Apify. You can implement PPE pricing, and we take care of the compute, and then obviously you get most of the profit, so 80%, right? But of course the compute. But that's the thing about launching on Apify. It's it's seamless. You don't get the headache of having to worry about hosting and usage. All that's calculated. You just have to figure out what to charge from a pay-per-event pricing point of view. Another question that he had, can you share some ideas or examples of successful MCP servers that I could build and monetize on Apify? Another great question. I think a lot of this is being built right now. Some of the ideas will come from, agent platforms like Mindpal and Thumb. I think it did a good job of kind of summarizing some of them. You can also reverse engineer this, go to some agent platforms, figure out what are the top, agents or MCP servers, and you can duplicate those. Currently, we are talking to a host of different developers. Some of them, want to actually post like meal ordering, grocery ordering. A lot of it is combining different actors. Obviously, also the MCP, you can use prompts, you can use resources. So I think we're going to see a lot of use cases, use cases that will, do really well. So we also have our ideas section on the platform where, we're going to encourage the community to submit ideas. So, if there are servers that everyone's looking for, so as part of the, us releasing the MCP server category, there will be also ideas there for servers. Okay, Pratham had a question. Maybe, I don't know, Dushan or Jacob, if you want to take this. How does Apify handle rate limiting and concurrency when scaling multiple MCP instances?
So the scaling is handled that each instance of the standby actor is run on each user's Apify account. So each user has its own separate instance. So that scales for each user. And rate limit, I believe there is default rate limit that all the Apify resources have, and that's 30 requests per second. There are some exceptions, but by default there is 30 requests per second. So I believe this is the rate limit for the standby actors.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that, Jacob. Okay. So yes, we'll be able to rewatch this. Random guy asked, so we'll be publishing this on YouTube, and you can watch it anytime. Zoran had some questions regarding LinkedIn. How does LinkedIn Scraper goes with anti-bot LinkedIn protection and terms and condition? So it's a community app or a scraper. Um, on obviously like we encourage people to read about some of those TNCs that LinkedIn has. Okay. Can I make? Ian Monroe had a question: Is can I create an MCP server without my own actors? Can I make custom MCP servers based upon actors in the Apify? So how do you monetize that? I think that's an excellent question. Do you guys want to take it or?
Yeah, you could basically take any open source MCP server, or you could build your own MCP server without our actors. If it brings value to the user, you could put it on the store, and then you could monetize it, as we already told, by putting in the code Actor.charge. So it could be per run, it could be per tool call, or it could be any custom event.
Okay. Thank you, Dushan.
But creating an MCP server based upon Apify Actor is what we are doing. That's what mcp.apify.com is for. So I don't think there is a use case for this.
Yeah. But I think, a lot of obviously developers, they have their own actors. So I think there is an opportunity to bundle, actors together.
Yeah,
Maybe
definitely.
Extend them with,
If they extend it and
actors.
add additional functionality,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you saw from Mindpal how people are actually using MCP because of the easier tool calls, so they can get 5 or 6 tool calls and bundle them together, and then in the future, of course, give more context to bots and agents through prompts and resources. So, as I said, it's early days. We'll share as many ideas as we can with you. So, Banili Soft had a question regarding if we have many automation tools on our custom website to connect to MCP server, we need REST APIs to integrate on this.
So how you basically integrate an MCP server that runs on Apify, or it doesn't matter, it can be any remote server. You need an MCP client and then specify the URL, either credentials, depending on the server, and that's how you integrate it. There are SDKs for that already for every major programming language that you could use to connect to the MCP server. So I guess this might answer the question.
Yep. Okay, perfect. And Bakesh had a last question. What are the key advantages of using MCP servers over traditional Apify actors for building scalable tools?
The main difference is that when you run an actor, it's run with some input, do its stuff, and then provide some output. But with MCP server, you could chat with that. So you could get the data, then you could ask a follow-up question, and you are basically working and have it as an assistant. But with Actor, it's just do its job, and you can't influence it in the middle.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. And we have a question from Ian. So a lot of these questions are coming towards the end. It's great. How does pricing work as you are charging for the MCP run, but the actor may have a monthly charge or a charge per 1,000 run? That is an excellent question.
Actor needs to be PPE, pay per event. If you've got a subscription Actor or any other pricing model, it will not work. So that's the one condition for tools for our MCP.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Dushan. I think that's it. I don't see any more questions. If anybody has any more, obviously it's not the last time that we have questions, so you can also send them anytime to us. Okay, it looks like Bakesh had one more question. So I think this is maybe for Jacob. Does Apify provide an MCP server SDK for developers? Are there built-in retries or fallback mechanisms?
We don't directly provide an SDK for building MCP servers. We only provide templates to turn them into the actors, but you could use any already available SDKs. There's plenty of them on GitHub. you can search SDK MCP for TypeScript, Python, or any other major programming language, and they are made for building the server easily. Also, as mentioned by, I think, Abdu from Flow AI, there is a nice framework called Fast MCP, which is quite nice for building MCP servers fast.
Great. Nice. Okay, guys, any more questions? Anything that, as I said, you can, of course, ask any of these later. So I'm just putting the slides for promo codes. And I really want to thank everybody that obviously has attended this. I also want to thank all the team here. And of course, Abdu from Flow AI and Tam from Mindpal. It's been a pleasure. And of course, kudos to our production guru, Philip, who's been in the studio and coordinating this webinar. So guys, it's early days. We will have a webinar in the fall for sure, I think. And let's work together on making this a success. And yeah, thank you all for attending this webinar. And everybody has a great evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.